What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Average Investor, where anyone can build wealth, even the average investor. And I hope you had a great week. If you're an old subscriber and you're coming back to the channel, thank you so much. And if you're a new person to the channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And also make sure you guys destroy that like button, because that greatly helps me out and pushes my videos out there. So I would greatly and not greatly appreciate that. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down my 3 favorite trading and investing apps going into 2021. And do not worry, all of them will be down in the description if you do decide to sign up with any of the 3 that I mentioned today. And to be completely honest, there's not one that beats all of them. I think most of the investing apps out there are great, which is beautiful already at the start. It's mostly going to come down to what's going to fit you personally the best, as well as what's going to fit your investing style. And before we dive into today's video, I know last video I was breaking down all the new things that I added to the YouTube set. And this is a really cool addition. It's called a CMY cube. So each side is a different color. It's pretty cool. So first, I want you to think of these investing apps like running shoes. Now, what I mean by that is you can have different pairs, you can have different colors, styles, brands. You can have a whole wide range of running shoes. Now, the overall goal, obviously, of these running shoes is to get you outside running or running on a treadmill, but the main objective is to run, right? It's the same thing with these investing apps and these brokers. They're all relatively similar now with, no commission fees. But just because you have all of these different apps doesn't mean you're gonna actually do the thing that you need to be doing or the thing that you wanna be doing, which is investing. So at the end of the day, the best trading app and the best brokerage out there is gonna be the one that actually gets you investing. Now that we have that mindset out the way and that theoretical idea broken down, the first app that I wanna dive into is M1 Finance. So the reason why I put M1 Finance first is the way that I was talking about how these apps need to personally fit you the best. Out of these 3, M1 Finance matches my investing style the best. I also love M1 Finance because, as you can see here, it's very easy to follow, as well as the interface is pretty nice. It's also great because you can open up a Roth IRA within M1 Finance, which is super cool. And also you can select a portfolio that fits your investing strategy the best. So you can select your risk tolerance to what you feel most comfortable being. So right now I have moderately aggressive because I'm younger, so I have more time. I can be a little bit more aggressive, but typically as you're older, you want to be more moderate, and the younger you are, you might want to be a little bit more aggressive just because you have more time on your side. So if I click in here to what my portfolio actually looks like, or what my pie looks like, it's broken down into all different types of ETFs from VOO, which is the S&P 500, all the way to small cap to total international bond ETF. It's pretty cool how the way that you can break down your portfolio without really knowing exactly what the makeup is, but just basing off of your investing style. The great thing is, if you do want to open up a Roth IRA within M1 Finance, the minimum is only $100, which is super great if you're just starting out. Sometimes you just want to dip your toes into the water before you dive headfirst all the way in, and it'll just get you more comfortable with investing with just that minimum of $100. I highly recommend, even though I'm not a professional financial advisor, I highly recommend you going and opening up a Roth IRA with M1 Finance, just because the minimum is only $100 and you can get your Roth IRA opened up for retirement now. So that's awesome. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you do want to go sign up with M1 Finance, I have put a link down in the description where if you sign up, you'll actually get $30 towards your portfolio, and it will also give me $30. Being completely transparent, it's a win-win for both of us. So if you do want to use M1 Finance, go and grab your free $30 down in the description. The second app that I want to go over today is Robinhood. And I'm sure that you've heard of Robinhood in the past. You've seen it on so many different social medias. It's really well known, but I want to make sure to add it in the top 3. Sometimes I feel like Robinhood catches a bad rep because on TikTok you see all these day traders doing all these option calls, doing super risky things where people lose thousands and thousands of dollars all the time, and that really goes against my mindset of investing, that short-term quick buck. So I can see how sometimes people don't like the idea of Robinhood because they think it's just a get-rich-quick scheme, and you see a lot of people losing money on the app. So pulling up my Robinhood portfolio, I really use Robinhood as my smaller speculative trading. So I'm one that's really going to be diving into index funds and ETFs for the long term. I really like that slow, gradual building in wealth, but I also do have a smaller portion of my portfolio in speculative trading. So as you can see here, I have 2 option calls, and they're actually leap options. So it's more of a longer term option. I do not recommend this. It is super risky. If you do want to get into this, go and learn from other people that are much smarter than me. I really am speculating on these, so do not recommend. In terms of my stocks, I do have some ETFs here. As you can see, I have SPY. That's the 500, the S&P 500. I also have VTI, which is similar to the index fund VTSAX. So I do have some index funds within here, but I also have some speculative stocks as well, such as NEO, Microsoft, Apple. Though that they are pretty stable, maybe not NEO, but we'll see. Though they're more typically stable, they are individual stocks. So I'm betting on one stock to hopefully go up and also to get the dividends from them as well. But again, I'm really using Robinhood for my individual stocks, even though that you can buy ETFs. It's really going to break down as to what you're investing in within Robinhood. But I personally am using Robinhood for my individual stocks, my speculative trading, as well as some security with ETFs and that sort of thing. Obviously, also the interface is super easy to use, especially if you're a beginner. And also something that's super cool is Robinhood does offer fractional shares. So let's say you cannot afford $3,000 worth of one Amazon stock. That's completely fine. You can start getting invested with just a super small amount. So that's pretty cool if you really want to dip your toes into Amazon, the bigger stocks that you might not have enough capital on hand to put into, or you don't feel like risking that much. So that's pretty cool. And if you do feel like Robinhood fits your trading style or your investing style the best, then I've put down a link in the description for you to go and grab a free stock with Robinhood if you want to get signed up today. Super easy. Again, another win-win for you and me. The third and final investing app that I want to go over today is Webull. Now, Webull's a little bit newer than Robinhood and M1 Finance, but it's also a great investing app. Right off the bat, and for starters, why Webull is so great, if you go down in the description, use my code and put in $100, just $100, you can get 4 stocks valued up to $3,600. Hold on, let me check that really quickly. So I was wrong, it's actually $3,700, so even better. Regardless, this is a great way to dip your toe into, I've said dip your toe like 3 or 4 times in this video. It's a great way to get started in investing, to get 4 free stocks just to get your feet from under you. What? And also, same thing really applies here from my Robinhood portfolio. I'm really using Webull for my few individual stocks that I hand pick, but I also get some free stocks from people signing up. So sometimes I will take those and then sell them and then buy things that I actually want to be invested in. And as you can see here, they do a lot of fun things, like you can spin the wheel to get some Facebook shares, which is really cool just by following a couple of these tasks. So that's awesome. As well as you can manage your portfolio. As you can see here, I've around $400 in here, so nothing crazy. But again, this is another great app if you are looking to handpick some stocks, dive into some ETFs. It's a really good alternative. The one thing that I do want to mention about Webull is at first, right when you log into the app, the interface can seem a little confusing and a little challenging to master. But the cool thing about Webull is they really do listen. So since they are newer and they're growing really quickly, their eyes and ears are open for any changes and any suggestions. So you'll see a lot of recommendations and changes happen over time. And also they're always giving away free stocks. So that's super cool. You can share your link with your friends and, keep going and sharing stocks with anyone and everyone that you want to start investing with. So those are my top 3 investing apps. Just a really quick breakdown of what I think are great apps to be using in 2021. But again, think about the running shoes analogy. Just because you could download all 3 of them and never use them, then you're really never going to be investing. So really none of those would be the best investing apps. So I highly recommend you pick which app you think fits you the best and which fits your trading and investing style the best, and just run with it and just get started. Now wait, I know that we just ran through all 3, but I actually do have one bonus app and one bonus brokerage, which is funny because this is the one that I have like 90% of my portfolio in. So I know I just showed you those 3, but my main brokerage that I use is actually Vanguard. Now, Vanguard is great for my investing style, as I mentioned earlier, long-term growth. So I'm really invested in index funds within Vanguard. The biggest negative about Vanguard is if you do want to be investing in these index funds, there is a $3,000 minimum, which for some people, or for most people, that's kind of a lot, especially if you're just starting out, to throw in. So completely understand. So for example, if we take the total stock market VTSAX index fund that has a $3,000 minimum, you can actually invest, I think it's around $200 into the ETF, which is VTI, and it really focuses and tracks the VTSAX, so it is following very closely to that. That being said, their interface on the desktop is still very old, looking like a dinosaur, but it really does get the job done, and it's by far the best for when it comes down to index funds, in my personal opinion. They also have the Vanguard Beacon app, and if you're using the old Vanguard app, I highly recommend upgrading to the Beacon app. They are catching up with the times, so that one's a little bit more up to date. So now that you guys have the top 3 and then a bonus one going into 2021, I hope you guys have an idea from which one you think is going to fit you the best and what's going to be the best to really get you out there and start investing for the new year. If you guys found the one that you like and you feel like you got some value from this video, please destroy the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And again, if you are a subscriber from the past, thank you so much for showing back up. But I hope you have a great rest of your day, and stay safe, stay calm, and keep investing. Thanks, guys.
Guys, just understand one thing. The average investor is the GOAT.